Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, it is going to be a 2x chance to pull epics and legendaries from Ancient Shards this weekend. You know what that means? It means you're going to get a load of rares. There will be a load of rares in the mix. So I'm going to do an updated guide to all of the rares. All of the rares. Are they good? Are they trash? Should they go straight in the bin, or should you actually use them for some content in this game? We're going to go through them all. Before we do, the guys at Summoner's Glory, Eternal Fire, have given me a load of stuff to give away. So if you're new to Summoner's Glory, you can come in, you can set up your own champion. In the promo code bottom left, if you put HELL, H-E-L-L, then you will get yourself some free summoning books, some gold and some kind of intro stuff. Just to get you started. And then I've got 15 lots of prizes to give away. So I can give away, and it's going to be random. I'm going to pick random comments from below. All you need to do is comment, who are your favourite phantoms in the game? Which phantoms are your favourites? Or which ones are you investing in a comment below. 15 winners will be drawn, and you will get one of 3 prizes. It will either be a goodie bag with 3 million gold, or 20 lots of 60 Vigor, which is the energy refills, or the Brucey bonus special, 20 epic summoning books. I'm capped out right now. 20 epic summoning books where you will get 6 S or SS tier phantoms in each book. So good prizes. As I say, comment below, get involved. Let's get back to a Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, then we're doing this faction by faction. Let's go. First one up, Crossbowman. He is no good. Valerie, actually a good support unit. Does bring some shieldage. Does bring some extension of buffs. Decent champ. Grandmaster, no good. Mimrodon, actually decent. Got Provoke here, which is okay. Got an AoE decrease attack. And got ally protection and continuous heals. Decent for faction wars, really. Outside of there, I'd say he's kind of struggling. Preserver, no good. Courtier can be good, I think, in a stun set. He's got AoE here. He's got a triple hit here. He's got some control in his freeze. He's got some control in his decreased speed. Certainly for faction wars, can come in and do a good job. Bombardier, no good. Questa, no good. Cataphract, no good. Conqueror. So he does conquer the land of faction wars. That's about it. Double hit here with a bit of a buff removal. And he's got a block revive A3. It's okay. He's not terrible. He's not terrible. Okay, Halberdier. Oh dear, is what we say to Halberdier. No good. No good. Chevalier, actually pretty solid. Double hits with some block, ignoring block damage and shields. Got a stun. Got some decent-ish weak source team buffs. So he's not terrible. Vanguard is actually kind of good. Decreased defense A1. Provoke A2. Decreases the duration of all buffs on the attacker when hit. That's the best thing, really. So when he's taking damage from, I don't know, the Valk waves or whatever, he's actually able to reduce the buffs that they've got on them. Kind of niche useful in faction wars. Steadfast Marshal, I don't like him. Dagger is solid. Out of all of the rares, I'd say Dagger's the best one in this faction, but obviously Void, you're not going to pull her this weekend. She does bring AoE drop defense, big version, and AoE drop attack, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, let's move on. High Elves. High Elves. Apothecary. One of the kings. One of the kings of rares. Some would call him perhaps legendary. Increased speed and turn meter, triple hit here, and a nice fat heal. One of the better heals in the game from Apothecary. So good stats. Yeah, he's going to be leveled up for sure. Avenger, no good. Elhain, really solid. High damage. AoE hits. One of the starter champs. Can't go wrong with Elhain. Really solid. Judicator, no thank you. RARES is kind of like niche. Okay. Got this counter attack whenever an ally is attacked. It's on a 1-turn cooldown though. That's probably her best thing. She does have a bit of a buff, a chance at extra turns. She hits for a solid amount of damage, but not crazy. She's okay. Magister, no. Fencer, AoE drop defense, 100% chance to land it, but it's the weak version. If you don't have a drop defense for your faction war team, you've got Tyrell up here, then she can come in and do that job for you, and you should do that instead of having no drop defense, especially when you get a bit further in faction wars. She's got stun as well, so she's not bringing nothing else. Decreased speed for bosses. So overall okay, she's just super squishy. Not bad. Hyria, just kind of 2 weak sauce really. Interceptor, should not have the Void tag. Should probably move down to uncommons. Reliquary Tender, absolutely solid. Again, Void champion, so you're not pulling her this weekend. But really good champ. Yeah, she's got revives, an ally with an okay amount of HP and turn meter. She's got a full cleanse, super good for Agref, this one. And she's got a decreased attack. You can also use this cleanse as your stun cleanse for Clan Boss. She can be your cleanse for Dragon. She's just solid anywhere in the game. So Reliquary Tender, good champ. Okay, Sacred Order. Aethel, really strong. Another one of the starter champs. Hard hitting AoEs. Weaken on an A1. Yes, please. Good rare. You're definitely going to want her in your faction war team. Witness. I witness a terrible champion. Hospitaller. I mean, I kind of said okay, really. Good buffs on her A3 for a weak source buffer. AoE damage here. So you could throw in like a stun set or a provoke set or something. Okay base stats. She's just a bit average. She's average, but not terrible. Purgator, really hard hitting champion on this AoE if he's got some debuffs on him. So if you can run in with someone who throws debuffs on him, or you're taking a load of debuffs, he actually smacks super hard. Yeah, interesting champ. Chaplain. A lot of people tell me about Chaplain. She's got remove all debuffs from one ally. It's okay. She's got an AoE, and this is a heal. Now, this is what people tell me about. She does solid damage, and when she does that damage, she heals your team. She's an interesting rare. Certainly one to look at. Yeah, certainly a decent rare. Okay, Lamella. I think he used to play for Tottenham. Now he's in the Sacred Order, and he's just as good in the Sacred Order as he was for Tottenham. Solaris, no good. Renouncer. I renounce that you're no good at raid. Templar, right. Okay, we've got someone solid here. A1 decreased speed. 4-hitter chance to provoke. It's random hits. But 4-hitter, each hit, if you book him, 50% chance to provoke, and he puts block damage on himself. He's actually solid. Damage is based from defense. Yeah, and he's a defensive champion. He's slow. He is slow, but that A2 can really help you in a tight spot for faction wars. Or for like dungeon wave control. Yeah, controlling enemies. Templar's actually solid. Pentian, no thank you. Who else we got on this list? War Priest. War Priest you get right from the start. She's got a pretty solid heal. She's got okay buffs. She's an okay champion. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. I've already fed mine on my free-to-play. That's how much I value her. But she's not terrible. Judicator, no good. Maiden. Maiden has got a freeze, weak source, percentage chance to land it. But she does have this AoE drop defense. So again, if you're struggling for a drop defense and she's your last line, then you should use her. Otherwise, and outside of Faction Wars, no chance. But in Faction Wars, you might just have a use for her. Okay, who else we got? Mother Superior. I think they sell Mother Superior as like a really early pack for cheap. In raid terms, cheap. So she's okay. She's got a decreased attack. She's got a decent heal, plus some shieldage, plus some more healing and shieldage, plus a speed in all battles. She's actually pretty damn solid for this faction. Headsman. No. So, Sanctum Protector. He's got a pretty decent A2 here. Attacks all enemies, then puts a defense buff on you. He's also got a bit of a provoke, which is 100% chance if you book it. I wouldn't suggest booking him, but he is defense-based. He's easy to build, and he's got some decent kind of utility. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad one. Confessor actually hits pretty hard. She can hit. She can hit. She's got an AoE drop accuracy. Not bad. Justiciar, no, don't like him. Harrier, go sing us a song, friend. Don't play raid. Draconis, actually solid. So we've got heals, we've got shields, we've got a bit of a cleanse going on. Okay base stats. He hits for a kind of weak source damage, but has got some good protection. Okay, moving on. Barbs. Barbarians. Marked straight off the bat. Super good rare. Really good. She has got increased defense and block debuffs. Can kind of bring you into clan boss, do some good work. Also not bad just generally in content. A weak source drop defense here. An AoE drop accuracy here. Okay base stats. Good HP. She's actually decent. Elder. Thinks he's Ultan. He's Ultan's old grandpa or something. He doesn't do anything. Hill Nomad. No thanks. Dune Strider. Luckily, she found her left boot. And that's the best thing she's ever done. Sentinel. Okay, Sentinel. Got Provoke. Got an AoE drop attack. Also a chance of heal reduction. And I'll kind of like this. Heals his champion at the start of their turn. This heal can be a crit. So he's kind of good at keeping himself alive. Got some utility. Not a bad champ. War Maiden. Oh, mama. We know she's good. We know she's good. Yeah, AoE drop defense. 100% if you book it. 3-turn cooldown if you book it. This is as good as it gets for a rare champion. And she's farmable. Super good. Also got a bit of a buff, nothing much. A little bit of a poison as well, nothing much. You just build her with accuracy, with speed. She actually hits hard as well if you've got enough stats to throw into some damage. So Slayer actually hits hard. It's got decrease attack, AoE. This does a lot of damage. So not a bad damage dealer for your clan boss, for your faction wars. And he's got a bit of utility as well. So yeah, not a bad one to build out. Anointed, also pretty good with his fancy swords. Got a triple hit chance to freeze. That's nice. 2-hitter here with stealing buffs. He's got turn meter fill, crit rate buff. Kind of good for faction wars. Berserker, I mean, he's going for that kind of Conan the Destroyer look. He actually hits pretty hard. Hits hard. Got a bit of turn meter fill. Extra turns if you kill someone is A2. Double hitter here, ignoring some defense. He's not bad. Not bad as a damage dealer. Blood Braid. Like the sister of War Maiden, except they didn't give her anything good in her kit. Soul Bomboya, one of the best rares in the game, in my opinion. AoE A1. Put her in a stun set. This just throws out stuns for you. She's got a big hitter on her A2, and then she's got a turn meter drop on her A3. This is definitely a rare that you want to build out. I was actually still using Soul Bond in my faction war team way after having a ton of legendaries. She's also good in Spider, Fire Knight, Ice Golem, you name it. She's got some utility for you. Good champ. Tiger Soul looks a little bit similar, I've got to say. But they assure me completely brand new skin. Unfortunately, nowhere near as good. She does bring some poison. It's not terrible. She brings a couple of like clan boss style buffs and debuffs. But, and you could use her for that, I guess. You could, but it's just not enough. It's not enough compared to a lot of other rares in the game nowadays. Okay. Skirmisher. No good. Ox. No good. Ragemonger. No good. Scrapper. Damn, he loves the scrap. I mean, he's got some shieldage going on. He's got some funky stuff. He's purely made for the Scarab boss. And if you want to throw him into that, fine. But he's very selfish. Everything's about, I'm doing it to myself. I'm doing it to myself. If you just throw him in one-on-one against Scarab boss, you could probably get it done. That's about all you would do with him. Okay, moving on. Ogryn Tribes. Tons of rares here. Are they any good? Rocktooth, no good. Pounder, terrible. Fortress Goon, first reasonable one here. So decreased speed A1, AoE heal reduction. The heal reduction we don't really care about, but the AoE's not bad. And then he's got a nice heal and an increased defense on his A3. He's okay as a support unit. Defense based as well, so easier to keep alive. Wagonbane, terrible. Magma Blood, terrible. Rough Stone, terrible. Okay then, Ogryn Jailer, here we go. So one of, if not the hardest hitting single target champions in the game. Certainly the hardest rare. He smacks with his A1. He smacks with his A2. He smacks with his A3. He actually is a very good anti-Skull Crown champion here. He's good for faction wars, for stealing buffs and then smacking them into the ground. Yeah, you can throw him into all sorts of stuff, and he does serious damage. Fury Stoker, on the other hand, hits like a noodle. Siegebreaker looks fancy with his armor. He's not fancy. Flesh Eater, go and get yourself a sandwich. No, thank you. Stone Skin, yes, a Stone Skin, good champion actually. Provokes on his A1, is void, so it's not for this weekend. Turn Meter Fill and increased defense on himself. And then he's got his AoE decreased speed. So he's reasonable for a kind of bit of utility for faction wars. Bellower, on the other hand, kind of throw him anywhere and he's good. AoE, AoE, AoE. Weak source debuffs all over the place. Throw him in stun set. He's stunning people up. He's got block active steals here as well. Just generally solid champion. Can be your campaign farmer. Can be your control champion. Can be your damage dealer. Loads of stuff going on with Bellower. Gear Grinder, super cool for faction wars. Got Revive here, which is always useful for a faction war champ. Heals. He's just a complete support unit for faction wars. Macolus is actually one of the new rares in the game. Void again, but I like this champion actually. Got a heal here, got a shield buff and weak source ally protection. 3-turn cooldown, could come into a clan boss setup. And he's got a passive that just reduces the damage that you take. I think he's really a clan boss champion if you're going to use him. Outside of that, he's just a kind of, I guess, just a support unit. Yeah, not bad. Okay, let's move on to the lizards. So the lizards, I mean, a lot of the lizards look good. They don't do much. Muckstalker, trash. Skink, stinks. Gator, I mean, at a push, he's got this cleanse. If you're struggling against Agref, that's about it. Sliver Brute. Terrible. Bogwalker. Okay, so we've got someone who can do something here. Decrease attack, big version. Can be your clan boss decrease attack. Increase defense for allies, weak source version, but not terrible. And then he's got a reflect damage buff for all allies for 1 turn when he's attacked with a crit. This can be useful for Fire Knight as well. So all in all, average in all those places, but can be used. Skull Sworn, only really good if you're going to use him alongside Skull Lord. If you do, he's good because he just keeps popping back up and going again. He can actually be your tank for the main faction war level 21 boss because they keep killing him and he'll just keep getting back up again. And eventually you'll kill the boss. So actually got some utility, but very situational. Hurler, terrible. Flinger, terrible. What are these names? Hurler, Flinger, Chucker. Slasher, terrible as well. Metal Shaper. So only real use he's got is he's got this 2-turn cooldown for a 2-turn shield. Awesome against Scarab Boss. If you get him running as your fastest champion, he will keep shield up for the entire fight. If you can keep the turn meter down on the Scarab Boss, and you can keep this guy as your fastest champ. So actually pretty valuable for that. And Haruspex, like early game useful champ. Speed Aura for Arena. Got a bit of poison, got revive, got turn meter feel. Generally, like, can be used most places in the game, and then later in the game is going to be one of your champions that you just keep on for faction wars. So not a bad one. Okay, Skinwalkers. Now, Skinwalkers are known for having bad champions. However, their rares are good. Their rares are actually better than most of their champs. Greybeard, very solid. AoE freeze, provoke. Shields, like, he's really solid. Fleshmonger, AoE drop defense. If you book it, goes up to 75%. He's one of the best for this faction to do this skill. He's also got some buffs going on and a triple hit. He's decent rare. Blood Painter, poisons, AoE drop accuracy, turn meter fill. Again, for faction wars in particular, decent rare. Nullhorn, I love this champion. AoE provoke. Doesn't care about affinity because he places the ability rather than hits with it. Super good ability. Don't build any crit in his build because he can't crit. That's the only hit he does, and he can't crit. It can't be a strong crit or a weak hit. He's just like that. I'm Mr. Normal. He's not Mr. Normal. His champion's brilliant. And then he's got his unkillable buff as well on his A3. So he provokes, brings all of the damage into him, and he's like, oh, by the way, you can't kill me. Can't kill me, fellas. I'm good. So yeah, good champion. I really love this champ. So Channeler. He's got... No, that's not so good. He's got a stun here. It's okay. I like this. Another speed buff turn meter filler. So a bit like an apothecary, really. You know, he gives you a bit of a speed boost for this faction. It's a bit gangly. Never really looked at him. Pretty cool. Grappler, again, not bad. Double hit weakens. Weak source, though. Double hit poison. And shield buffs with reflect on all allies. This is really strong for finite. So finite reflect damage is how you get through some of those layers of shield. He's doing it for your whole team. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's not quick, but if you're struggling for a champ to do it, he's going to help you. Bloodhorn, again, it's not bad. Decreased accuracy, ally protect for your team, and then some healage going on. Not great, but not bad. Panthera's probably the worst of this faction. I don't really like her at all. Okay, let's go on to the Orcs. Death Chanter, no good. Chopper, no good. Gaelic, actually good. Like one of the starter champs, lots of damage. Does a lot of damage. He does have this kind of random decreased defense as well. It's going to be solid for this faction, Faction Wars, and generally like Arena Nuker. I don't know, like a campaign farmer, just general damage dealer. Spikehead. He's a smiler, this one. Very happy all day long, but terrible champ. Pigsticker, terrible champ. Ironclad, awesome champion in the right situation. Actually does damage. I did a video on this guy not that long ago. He does damage based on surplus heals. It's on a 1-turn cooldown, so you can't just like completely keep down with heals. He's got to have another turn in between. But if you heal him for a massive amount with Apothecary, with Sathalia, he blows people up. You build him like a nuker, and he blows people up. It's actually really fun. You should check out the video. I'll ping it above. Really fun. Dormouse, terrible. Tree Fella, best she does is fells trees. Terrible champ. Twin Claw Disciple, no thanks. Raider, terrible. Totem, terrible. Wyvernbane, shocking. Okay, so Veteran is actually good. Decreased attack, again, can be your clan boss decreased attack champion. He's got a bit of self-buffage. He hits okay damage. He's defense-based, so you can build him as a tank, and he still does a bit of damage. He's also got this AoE block buffs. Really, really solid ability for Faction Wars. So, Veteran, people sleep on him. Super cool. Huntress, however, is not. Average to bad champ. Ripper Fist, just straight up bad. And that is the Orcs. Okay, let's move on. Demons. Demonspawn. Diabolist. Actually good. Good champion. Farmable. Rare. She's got speed boost. She's got... she pushes back the enemy turn meter. Solid rare with a ton of speed. A lot of people use it for Faction Wars right through to the end game. So yeah, she's also good just generally in dungeons. Yeah, I really like her actually. Tormentor. No. No Tormentor. No good. Houndspawn. No good. Hellfang. I guess Hellfang and Houndspawn can be good-ish together. So Houndspawn will ignore defense if the target's got a freeze, only if Hellfang's there. Okay? And Hellfang can freeze, AoE freeze 75% only if Houndspawn's there. So if you're playing the two together, they can be good, but it's pretty damn situational. Marquess hits hard. Marquess is a hard-hitting defense-based champion. She's got AoE damage as well, and she's got utility. Really good rare. Really good. Bissell, good rare as well. AoE block buffs. It's a weak chance to land it, but it's not a bad ability. Heals all champions, and then good buffs. So, yeah, pretty solid. Hellborn Sprite. Really looks like she's got a very thin head. Extremely thin. Maybe that's why there's no brains in there and there's nothing going on with this champ. Terrible. Ifrit does an okay amount of damage, but that's about it. Marquis hits pretty hard as well. Again, he's got good multipliers on his kit, and he's got a nice AoE sleep. So yeah, not a bad one. Also, what's quite cool here is this debuff cannot be removed. It can't be cleansed off. So people kind of sleep on this. This is a really cool skill, actually. Fellhound, really good for campaign farmer, hard hitter, good for basically stun set control. and also great in finite. So he's got this block damage will always go on the leader unless you're manually controlling this. Decreased speed here, and he's got this reflect damage, which is nice for finite. Malbranche, terrible, and that is it for the demons. Undead Sen, quite a lot here. Tons here, actually. Ridiculous. Banshee, all AoE abilities means that a stun set makes her good. She's also got some good utility on a couple of these skills. Average, rare. Temptress, not tempting enough for me. Not tempting enough compared to the Barbarians, I would say. But does she do anything? She's got Leech, actually, which is not bad. And she's got some okay buffs. Frozen Banshee, the absolute queen of poisoners for Clan Boss. One of the few with poison sensitivity. Double hit poison whenever it's out there. She loves smacking up that Clan Boss. Seen a lot in unkillable teams, but also normal teams. Just straight up good champ. Grave Chill, only really good when she's partnered with Frozen Banshee, I feel like. But she does bring big boy poisons if sensitivity's out there. She does bring big drop defense, and she does bring poison herself. So standalone okay, with Frozen Banshee, really good. Sorceress, no good. Grinner, actually nice for faction wars here. Brings a revive. She's got an AoE with a chance to clean out some buffs as well. Good champion, massively fast. Like, good champ, actually, yeah. And he's good in a party. Like, he loves a joke, this guy. Loves a joke. Wretch, terrible. Bone Knight, terrible. Rotted Mage, terrible. Ghoulish Ranger. Oh, hold on a minute. Ghoulish Ranger. Terrible. So, Corpulent Cadaver. Got some shieldage on his A1. Got some shieldage on his A2. You could actually just run him against Scarab Boss solo. Just A1 in. Just A1 in. He gets a shield every time he hits. And he can do it solo. It won't be quick. It'll be super slow, so he doesn't hit hard. But he's got something going on. Arbalesta. This is more like what I want Temptress to look like. She has got... Where is it? This one. Attacks one enemy 60%. No, not this one. This one. Attacks one enemy. Damage increases according to the number of debuffs. She can actually be a really hard-hitting Clan Boss hitter if there's a load of debuffs out there. Once the debuffs stack up to like more than 5, she's one of the hardest hitting single targets in the game. But it's so situational. And she's so squishy. Like, yeah, I don't know if people have ever tried it, but she can hit hard. Doomscreech, good. Good rare. Accuracy debuff here. He's got an increased defense and turn meter fill. So if you're looking for like a defensive go fast lead, if you're doing something like arena, not necessarily lead actually, but just a defense turn meter booster, then he's your man. And has also got this AoE with a shield attached to it as well. Hollow, no good. Seducer, cool rare. AoE drop attack. Increased defense and block debuffs for 2 turns. This is really rare, actually. A rare champion with block debuffs for 2 turns is very hard to find. He will be great for Spider with this ability. He'll be great for faction war bosses with this ability. Kind of any bosses, really. Like, block debuffs is a very, very valuable skill. Also kind of useful for Clan Boss early on. Has ally protection only when Temptress is around. And Temptress doesn't really help you in the places where you'd want ally protection, which is a shame. Stitch Beast then, last one, no good. Oh no, not last one. This one as well, no good. Oh no, not last one. This one as well, no good. So this is the actual last one. And actually, Drowned Blowfray is not bad. A weak source chance to stun. AoE drop defense, we love it. It's a weak version, but if you don't have it in the team, he can do it. Also a chance to put fear out there at the same time, which is not bad. And then he's got this heal whenever you kill someone, which is nice. 15% of your team's health as a heal whenever you kill someone. That's actually pretty good. Okay, moving on then. Night Revs. No, Dark Elves. Dark Elves, we've got a few to go. Judge. Judge is actually solid. Hard-hitting rare. You might notice on my free-to-play, I've not fed this guy. That's because he hits freaking hard. Damage increases for each debuff on the target. Stacks up to 100%. He's also got an AoE damage dealer here. Fills turn meter for every crit. And he's got some good debuffs. Eventually, I will be building out the Judge on my free-to-play account, and you'll see him in action. Got some weird passive where he's just throwing out weird old debuffs. It's a shame they're so awkward. And he's got an accuracy in all battles aura. I like this guy. I think he's going to be solid for my free-to-player. Kale, we know him. We know how solid he is. Probably the most versatile rare in the game. Where do you want me, boss? He's like that. Put me in. Arena, put me in. Clan boss, put me in. Faction Wars. First on the sheet. Dragon, I'm straight in. Like, he doesn't care. Doesn't care. You can build him 100 different ways. You can build him for damage. You can build him to just land his poisons. Super good rare. Super good. Mystic Hand kind of got a very niche spot for a couple of the keeps. He could come in, steal the buffs away from the keep where she's throwing out buffs or block buffs. He's okay. He's okay. When I first started playing the game, he was like the go-to. Put Mystic Hand in. It's like, yeah, I think we're past it. Still Bowyer, trash. Spirit Host, okay early game. Bit of speed here. I'm using her at the minute in my free-to-play. Increased attack buff. She does have a full cleanse, actually. So again, for Agref, if you're struggling for that cleanse, she can come in and do a job. Hexweaver, she did not buy the right length dress. Let's be honest about it. It works at the back. They ran out of material at the front. That's all I got to say about her. The Wanderer, Wander on, my man. Okay, Cold Heart, 4-hitter A1, smacks on her A2, smacks on her A3. She's an absolute legend. Still probably the best, most desirable rare in the game. Paragon, on the other hand, desirable for another reason. He can be unkillable forever. Forever. He's one of the most annoying champions to face because he just keeps going unkillable, unkillable, and he can literally create a never-ending cycle. When you've got him, you throw unkillable on someone against, I don't know, maybe Spider, and he will just keep them unkillable, even though the AI is like, we're still going to go for him because we think we've nearly got him dead. He's like, no, I don't die. Paragon's super good. Retainer, on the other hand, needs a haircut, terrible champ. Viscerator, average to bad champion. Painkeeper, only really super good in these budget unkillables alongside a Man-Eater. If you want to beat the clan boss, Painkeeper becomes a really good rare for options for unkillable teams. Outside of that, she does bring this kind of reduced cooldown of your other skills for your team. She does bring an okay heal. So she can do a bit of work. She can still go into your faction war teams or dungeon teams, but massively OP when you're talking about some of the clan boss stuff. Harvester, pretty trash. Okay, on to Night Revs. Night Revs, Executioner, the OG campaign farmer. This was everyone's go-to. I think he must have been nerfed at some point because he's definitely not as strong as he was, but can do a job. Weak source stun here. AoE drop speed and decrease turn meters. Kind of nice, actually. Hits pretty hard. And self-buff in here. So he's not bad. Thirdist is bad. Magus is bad. Coffin Smasher can come in and do a job in the clan boss. Drop attack. HP burn. And he's got this passive where you take less damage. He's quite squishy and he's quite slow. He can also do a job against Sorath, against most of the Doom Tower bosses, actually, because HP burn is where it's at for damage. HP burn is where you do your damage. And a lot of the bosses, like Iridoth, like the Griffin, like Agref, decrease attack is really helpful. So HP burn plus decrease attack, they're both really helpful skills. You could also throw an HP burn out and get someone that spreads buffs to create an HP burn strat for Spider. So he's got a bit of utility, this guy. Arcanist, no good. Gladiator is good, though. Gladiator's pretty solid. Got double buffs on his A1. He's got double hits with stun chance. Good chance to stun as well, actually. But it is situational around turn meter. And he's got an AoE here that hits reasonably hard. So he's okay. Acolyte, I mean, he does have this cleanse. That's it, really. Guardian, pretty similar to Gladiator in terms of faction war utility. 4-hitter, random though, but each hit's got a chance to put block buffs out there. This can be good for faction wars. If you're struggling to get through those Vault waves, this can be good to just come in and hope for the luck of the gods, and you just put some block buffs out there. Put him in a stun set, and he's doing 4 hits here, which might also have a chance to stun. So, not bad. Crimson Slayer. The Slayer doesn't slay a lot. Renegade is solid. She's one of the best, actually. One of the best for speed running dungeons because of this skill here. Decreases the cooldown of skills by 2 turns. You do your nukes with Seer or with whoever you're going to do your nukes with. She goes next, reduces the cooldown of everyone's abilities, and then you just run it again. So, pretty cool. So, Daywalker. Daywalker's actually got a lot of damage in his passive here. So, revives him, attacks all enemies after being killed. The hit cannot be a crit, which is a shame because it actually has got like a 6 multiplier on the damage, but can be kind of funky to just get up, smack the enemies down again. Centurion, it's got a bit of stuff going on here. Heals, exchange HP and equalize. Reasonable for faction wars. That's it. As good as it gets. Reasonable. Okay, last 2 to go. Dwarves. Grumbler, decent. Shield, heal reduction, ally protection, and increased defense. Not bad. Runic Warder, kind of like a Fire Knight specialist, really. Got this reflect damage, which is going to break down the shield of Fire Knight. It's got a double hitter and a double hitter again. Outside of Fire Knight, I can't really see where you'd use him. Stout Axeman, not stout enough for me. Cudgeler, looks solid. Kind of needs just a bigger weapon, I reckon. Give him a bigger weapon, he might be able to do something, but no, not good. Avir, good support champ. It's got poisons, got AoE, drop attack and speed, got turn meter manipulation, solid support champ. Flailer, no. Beast Wrestler. Now this dude is literally ripped up. Look at him. He's struggling, but he smacks. The Beast Wrestler's got crazy multipliers. He does a ton of damage. He's also got a block revive in his kit, so when he's doing it, he's just smacking people. Increased damage by 50% for the first hit. You need the first hit to slay someone down, because after that, it reduces by a lot, but the first hit does smack. Got the fanciest armor in the crew, but terrible champ. Perforator, terrible champ. Delore, looks cool, looks like he's straight out of The Hobbit, but yeah, no good. Boltsmith, looks a lot like Perforator to me. No good. Madman. It's kind of funky tattoos. No good, though. Master Butcher. No good. Hatchet Slinger. Move along. Gloriel. Move along. Bulwark. Bulwark. So we've got ourselves a clan boss specialist here. Weaken. HP burn. And a really nice passive that extends duration of debuffs. Painsmith smacks super hard. And he's got block revive on his A2. So it's all single target stuff, but he does hit crazy hard. I've seen some fun videos of him just going out there, smacking his way through Plat Arena. I think it's Ian Steeman, I think his name is, who's done it. Really good vids, actually. Dildal, cool champ. Decrease speed, AoE drop accuracy, and triple hitter drop defense. Really good for boss levels of faction wars. Really good for bosses like Dragon, Spider, Ice Golem. Yeah, comes in clutch on boss fights. Kurzad, also a good rare. Can pick your accuracy up, can drop your enemy's defense, which is nice. So it sets up your debuffer, sets up your damage dealer at the same time. Decent stats, not a bad rare. Okay, on to the last faction, the newest faction, Shadowkin. I'm running out of steam. Life Taker. She doesn't take lives. Let's be honest about it. She doesn't. But she's got an okay kit. Heal reduction, triple hit here, decrease speed, pretty good for Fire Knight, and reflect damage as well. Pretty much a Fire Knight specialist, I'd say. Assassin. You would think the first proper ninja in the game would be smacking people all over the place. He is weak sauce. Blood Mask, no. Adachi, probably the best rare in this faction at the moment. Got Provoke. He's got some shieldage and an AoE hit. And he's got some nice buffs on his A3. Marauder actually does a decent amount of damage. Got decreased attack here as well and an AoE. Got some sort of Provoke shieldage going on as well. Not bad. Vagabond has got some good stuff going on her kit. Okay chance to place asleep if you book her. Takes a lot of books, so does a lot of reading this one. Does have a block buffs here, turn meter fill as well, and then turn meter change here as well. So as a turn meter filler, and as someone who's just generally happy in a party, Vagabond, not bad. Fanatic, hard hitter, drop defense, hard hitter for a rare, I'd say. He's not like a hard hitter in the game, but not bad. And that's it. That's all of them. So don't trash all of your rares. Just trash most of your rares. Good luck if you're going to pull shards over this weekend for the 2 times. And don't forget, if you want to get involved in Summoner's Glory, all of the info will be pinned below. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.